Hello everybody and welcome. If you saw the title of this video, then you probably saw yesterday's video, and yes, we're doing this again, but this time I want to do it talking about the Star Wars sets that we got in 2024. So, all of that introduction, throw it all out the window. Hi everyone, my name is Davey and welcome to the LEGO channel. Today, we're going to be running through my top 5 sets for LEGO Star Wars from 2024. As always, these are just my opinions, so keep that in mind, and let me know in the comments below which sets you would have put in your top 5. Alright, let's get into it. At number 5, I want to give credit to Jedi Bob Starfighter. Mostly just because we got Jedi Bob in it, to be honest. It's quite a funny character. If you don't know the origin, then I don't blame you. He comes from the Republic gunship all the way back in 2002. Yes, he's a very old character. They kind of just designed him once, threw him in, and just forgot about it. I don't think LEGO expected to have to ever really do a Jedi Bob again, but then a couple years ago the hype for Jedi Bob started building back up, and I think LEGO realised it's time that this guy got a return, so they gave us Jedi Bob Starfighter. The rumours for a long time was that it was going to be a rebuild of the gunship, or that Jedi Bob was going to come in a different set. At one point I think he was rumoured to be in the Millennium Falcon, but eventually we got Jedi Bob Starfighter. And I think it's a pretty good set, but there's a lot of things that hold it back from being higher on the list. Firstly, it's a pretty weird build for a Starfighter. It doesn't fit in with the other sets, which is great if you want it to stand out in your collection. But if you're going to put it next to Obi-Wan's Starfighter from the year before, and maybe Ahsoka and Anakin's or Mace Windu's ones from a few years prior, like 10 years ago, I got bad news. It doesn't blend in very well. It's because it has these weird jets underneath and all these other extensions, and it just looks strange. Along with that, it does have a huge letdown of that third minifigure. The first one is obviously Jedi Bob, and the second one is a Gonk droid, which is cool, right? That's fine. We like Gonk droids. But the third one is an Akbar clone trooper. No, honestly, LEGO, if you couldn't come up with a good figure for it, you should have just kept the figure. We don't want it, and just raised the, lower the set of the price by a few bucks. Because honestly, it's just the worst thing you could have given us. I saw this stupid thing and I thought I want to set fire to it, because it's just such a letdown. If you put it into a microfighter and sold it, you know you wouldn't sell any of them, because not even the review channels would buy them. The whole reason that review channels buy them is for reactions, and guess what? No one would be watching that, so there'd be no reaction to their content. And that's the exact problem with this figure. You threw him in and it just feels like a waste. There's so many other cool things you could have given us. Hell, I would have rather the plain clone just take the stupid Akbar head off, give him like a yellow smiley face and a normal clone helmet, and boom, I'd have rathered that. People were rumoured that it was going to be an astromech droid, or that we were going to get an ARC trooper, or that we were even going to get Alpha from the original Clone Wars series, and any of those would have made this set 100 times better, and quite possibly number 1 on this list, just for giving us a good figure on its own. But because you gave us such a letdown one, it really held some people back from getting this set, and I think it holds me back from putting it up higher on the list. At number 4, we have, you all love it, the Darth Millennium Falcon. Now, there was no way that LEGO could put Darth Jar Jar in a set, and that I couldn't put it in a top 5. As soon as it happened, I would have been publicly executed for not doing so. So, you win. It's number 4 on my list. Why is it number 4? Because I feel like that's kind of it for figures. Redeemed Vader is also absolutely fantastic, and probably my favourite figure of the set. But it goes downhill from there. Beach Luke is just okay. It feels more like a summer figure than something that should have been in this set. Although it's still a funny figure to have, so I guess that adds some value to it. But then we've got Rey, that one kid from the show that no one remembers the name of. I think it's like Derek or... yeah, I think it's Darth Derek or something. And then you've just got evil C-3PO. It's just normal C-3PO with red eyes. That is pretty much the only difference with this version of C-3PO. And it's just such a letdown. The figures could have been so much better, and you gave us some cool ones like Darth Jar Jar, Redeemed Vader, and then you kind of just burnt it all down with really mediocre ones following that. As always, the Millennium Falcon is $170 or £150, which is again pretty expensive and probably the reason why they don't sell more Millennium Falcons. And there's always a Millennium Falcon on shelves, like constantly, again and again and again, year after year there's a Millennium Falcon on shelves. And this one, besides from being different colours and having different figures, doesn't really offer much else different from the last few Millennium Falcons. You could quite easily buy a previous Millennium Falcon and recolour it with some spare bricks you got in your bin. It's a fun set with some fun figures, and I have to admit it does look good, and I like that. But it doesn't offer enough unique to end up being higher on this list, which is why I've only put it at number 4. Sorry, talking all this much, it really hurts my throat. But you know what else can help heal my throat other than water? Putting a little bit of Poggers in my water. If you don't know what Poggers is my main sponsor at this point. Poggers is a hydration formula brand that gives you a powdered product that you can mix with water and it tastes delicious. It gives you the energy to get through the day and it's free of all of those dangerous chemicals that you might be intimidated by when considering buying one of these products. Along with that, it's full of vitamins and nutrients and it just tastes so good. And look at the design on this pot. That's brilliant. Such a cute, happy little guy down there. I love that. Poggers has a bunch of flavours, and along with that, they have free delivery in the United States if your order is over $50. And guess what? If you're not in the United States, there's a bunch of delivery options ranging from the fastest to the cheapest, so you can get it to you in the way that's the most convenient for you. So I don't know what you're waiting for. Go to poggerslifestyle.com and get that 10% off code using Davey in the checkout. Special thanks to Poggers, and back to this video. At number 3, I think I have to give it to the Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack. Now, this set everybody and their grandmothers loved. This set, it sold like a wildfire. It was a reasonable price for 4 Clone Troopers and 5 Battle Droids, combining to a total of 9 figures in this set. Along with that, you also got a speeder build, a little turret, a little crate, as well as one of these big Tri-Walker droids. People were really excited when this set was rumoured to be coming out, and then in January when it did, people were over the moon. People were sprinting to the stores to get this set, and people are still excited and constantly buying it now. So there is no way that this set would have not been in the top 5. I'm not a big fan of the speeder build, but that's really it when it comes to my problems with this set. I mean, it even comes with a shock trooper, which was originally exclusive to the gunship, but now thanks to this set, I can build up an army and just stuff my gunship with as many clone troopers as I can fit in it. I was really happy to get this set. I think everyone was happy to get this set. The figures were good, the builds were good, so I think it deserved to earn this spot as number 3 in my top 5 list. At number 2, I'm going to give it to the Imperial Star Destroyer. Now, the Imperial Star Destroyer was just absolutely a fantastic build. It looks absolutely beautiful, it's an amazing display piece. You get a bunch of figures with it, which are really good for your Imperial army, getting some officers, a gunner, and a stormtrooper. And then you get Cal Kestis. We never had a Cal Kestis figure. We didn't think we were going to get a figure for Cal Kestis, who's the Jedi from Fallen Order. But we did, and he looks so good. The only problem with him is that he's missing a poncho. If you gave him that, he would have been a perfect figure. And I still think that he was a really good one without that small detail. Overall, the set was detailed. It was a bit on the heavier side at £150 or $170. But it still looks so good. It's a solid, firm build. And it's just a really fun one full of some good figures. So I think this one absolutely had to be number 2 on this list, especially being one of my favourites of this year. Before we get into the number 1 set, I want to talk about some honourable mentions. The Imperial Dropship vs the Rebel Scout Speeder was a fantastic 25th anniversary set, coming with the R2KT droid, as well as just rebuilding 2 battle packs from 2007 that look absolutely beautiful. I also have to give credit to the Bark Speeder Escape that not just brought back 501st clones, but brought them back with the helmet holes for your collection. The midi scale sets were also fantastic, and I think that I could sit here for ages and ages and ages talking about all the good sets that we got this year. But I think that number 1 was a little bit clear to me. For me, number 1 this year has to be the Boarding the Tantive 4 set. Now, the figures at first seem a bit ordinary with Darth Vader, 2 Stormtroopers and 2 Rebels, but then you get Captain Antilles, and not just that, but as a 25th anniversary figure, you get ARC Trooper 5s. That's right, from the Clone Wars, a figure they said they would never make in Lego form. They brought him back and made him a 25th anniversary figure for this set. This was still a really good set. I really like D5's figure. I really like the build as well, it looks really good as a display piece. The figures were good, the build was good, and the price was good. So for me, this set had to be number 1. But as always, these are just my opinions, and I want to hear in the comments below what you guys thought should have been in the top 5. So let me know your thoughts on the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.